Welcome to Weird Science, where I talk about science that's a bit peculiar.
Weird
Science.
Purple isn't real. Just isn't real. Okay, let's back up. We all know how the electromagnetic spectrum works, but nonetheless it can be easy to forget that the light that our eyes see and the Wi-Fi signals that our phones pick up are the same thing. Light is just such a constant in most of our lives that we never stop to think about the fact that it's nothing more than electromagnetic waves of a certain wavelength. And that wavelength, of course, determines what colours we see. Our eyes have two types of photoreceptors, rods and cones. The cones are the cells that detect colour, and they work better in brighter conditions, which is why your perception of colour is limited in low light situations. We have three different types of cones, each of which detects a particular range of wavelengths. We typically describe these as being red, green, and blue. They're ultimately the only colours we see. Everything else is just a combination of these three primary colours. Looking at a deep orange will strongly stimulate your red receptors and mildly stimulate your green receptors. The result? You see orange. Your overpriced Tiffany & Co. cocktail stirrer will strongly stimulate your green receptors and moderately stimulate your blue receptors. The result? Tiffany blue. But what's going on when you look at something purple? Well, we all learned this in primary school, didn't we? You get purple when you mix blue and red. But of course, when we look at the electromagnetic spectrum, blue and red are on opposite ends. They never meet and they never mix. In our everyday lives, of course, we rarely see pure colours of only one wavelength of light. Almost everything we look at is a complex mix of many, many different wavelengths, which our brain computes in a fraction of a second to spit out a coherent image. But, generally speaking, every colour we perceive does approximate a wavelength that you can pinpoint to on the electromagnetic spectrum. But purple? A bright magenta purple? That isn't in the electromagnetic spectrum at all. It's just an illusion, essentially, that's happening only inside our minds. Just like the fact that your bedside lamp and your Bluetooth headphones are actually giving off the same type of energy, this quirk of purple is just another fun reminder that so much of our world and the way that we see it is more about what goes on inside our heads than what actually exists outside of them. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Weird Science. If you liked it, like it, and if you enjoy all things weird and creepy, check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. You can also find Zoinks on your podcast app of choice if you're one of those people. Anyway, that's it.